So, we were talking beforehand, before this show was going on the air. We always talk a little bit before the show. And the question was pretty obvious. Well, what the hell are we going to talk about? And my answer was, well, we're just going to shoot the shit. And they just kind of carried on like nothing was going on. Well, there's kind of a reason where I said that, because I guess the guys don't realize this. This is our 200th episode.
What?
No, I did not know that.
Fell between the cracks on everybody else, and I just kept that close to the chest and stone-faced it.
Wow. Okay.
Well
cool.
done, sir. Well done.
We are at 200 episodes, which is AKA 199 episodes beforehand of how the fuck are we still doing this?
Whoa.
Yeah.
We've only been doing this for 200. Chris has only been doing it for like 60.
That's why I didn't.
Well,
know.
technically,
I'm
if we
counting my
really want to
200.
be honest, I've done more than 200 because I count cartridge and quarters along with that, which means I've done even more than you, Kaylan, so you got nothing to say on that, on how many people have been
It's
doing
not competition.
He's right though. There is no competition. We're all here for the same reason.
But yeah, I mean, it's lucky that there's honestly nothing in the news to talk about because, you know, Xbox hasn't fired anybody else in the last 7 days. But yeah.
There's not much
Actually,
to fire.
Oddly enough, it's our 200th episode, and Microsoft just laid off 200% of its workforce.
200%. They just hired them and let them go again.
Yeah, they fire everybody, rehire them, and fire them again. Yeah.
Really
Nintendo's been
awkward
laid off
guys.
by them. It's crazy. It just was a whole thing. Yeah, the industry is actually gone.
Well, who are we kidding? If it came to actually, like, you know, 200% of people being fired, it would be themselves. They would let themselves go, get their severance, then rehire themselves so that they can get their severance again and just really fuck over everybody underneath them. But, you know.
But they'd get hired at a higher rate because they now have experience.
Yes,
They've managed
100%.
Microsoft before, yeah.
Yeah.
They could negotiate with themselves. That's a great idea. I'm going to try this at my current job.
Yeah.
This go well.
That's what you should do, Chris. Go get fired, go quit, and then get rehired and say, I'm coming with more experience than I had last time I came to the company. I need more money. That's what we should do.
If this works out, you both are going to feel dumb because, like,
Oh, someone's gonna
Not
feel
true.
dumb
I'm just
for
gonna
sure.
be telling you. So you're the one that can afford us. Like, you know, now we're gonna have a proper recording area. We're gonna get a proper setup so we can get like actual, like, you know, you can pay for the editor. Like, somebody can actually do all our social media stuff for us now. If you got that kind of money, you can do that.
yeah.
Are you telling me that my basement with my kids' boxes of like old diapers, like the old clean, not folded diapers, but diaper boxes, is not a proper recording
We
studio?
understood.
How dare you?
They help dampen the echo and sound in the room,
Exactly.
actually. Very
I'm
great.
pretty sure that's what Troy Baker's setup looks like in his house.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. But yeah, 200 episodes. So it worked out
Wow.
nicely that there's really honestly nothing to talk about in the news, so we can just shoot the shit and talk about gaming in general because, hey, that's actually what this show kind of is supposed to be.
Yes.
It also helps that I
Video
haven't
games.
played anything other than MLB some more, so there's no point in me talking about it.
Wow,
This
okay.
makes no sense. Kaylan is
It's crazy. I've actually
beaten
played
3
more
games.
I've played more games than Adam has this week.
Look, it's June. It's dead, man. Like, I've looked at the release calendar. Like, unless there's some indie gem that I just haven't heard of yet, there's nothing interesting coming out till like August.
Do you not have a backlog, Adam?
No.
This
Okay,
God,
let me
does not compute,
rephrase.
like-
A backlog can exist, but it has to be games that I want to play. Chris's backlog is 3,000 games that he's gotten on Humble Bundle last month, and thinks he wants to play every single one of them because they exist on a list. I look at my
Hey.
list, aka most of the PlayStation Essential free games, and go, those sure are games I could play. And that's where the conversation ends.
Yeah, no. Chris has a disease. It's basically equivalent of just like shaking keys in front of a baby, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll buy that."
Okay, first of all,
dangling in front
dangling
of me.
keys are fantastic. Anybody who says otherwise is just lying to themselves. And second, on Humble Bundle, I was very selective. When there was 10 free games every month, I only picked like 5 of them. The other 5, I just kept the keys and I traded them for other games that I
Is that why
actually
you
wanted
pawned
to.
off a copy of Metal Gear Zeros onto me?
That, I have no idea what happened. Kaylan, you actually got to hear this. Randomly, I opened Steam one day and Steam gifted me a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes or whatever that like small game
Yeah, that, like,
before-
demo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just got a free copy of it. I've owned the game for 9 years, and Steam was like, I guess you didn't get your money's worth. Here's another one. So I looked at my list of who didn't have it. I'm like, Adam doesn't have this. Here you go. Here is your gift of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. And Adam has played it 0.
No, I think I played it at some point when it was free on PlayStation.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation at one point.
Damn it. Well,
But
now
like
you
I could
have
just go back and play
another
Metal
copy.
Gear Solid 5 and actually enjoy myself.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I feel like I gotta get
Same.
back into Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't think I was in the right mindset when I started that game.
You should replay 4 and just start there.
God,
again.
no. God, no. Absolutely not. That was a mistake. I feel like Metal Gear is one of those games that that seems like a game that could work for me in that like sort of an military espionage might scratch that Splinter Cell itch, and that's why I'm kind of excited for Snake Eater.
Well, it's
on it.
honestly like
Snake
it's
Eater
the
you'll
opposite for me, where I'm actually concerned that I might not like it because I really like what Metal Gear Solid 5 did, because I like the style that
was
that
really
game
good.
did, and I have a fear that like I'm gonna go and play the third, and I'm just gonna be like, this isn't really what I want. Like I kind of like a little more of an open world, just go around and mess with shit.
That was what deterred me, is that I didn't like how open it was, and it's like I don't want to build a base. Like I don't want to build, what is it called, Mother Base or whatever like that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to go and collect stuff to build the base to then get more stuff. Like I just want to go out and do missions, and that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to be doing these side quests to build a base. Very few games have had good base building mechanics for me that I actually feel
fully agree.
invested to do it.
Yeah, I don't care about the base. I liked Metal Gear Solid 5 when I liked the openness of there was you have to get in here and kill this person or something, or the very funny attach the balloon to somebody and they float off, make them go unconscious and float them out of there and steal them. That was really funny.
Well, this open world worked for me because it honestly, the story, I could care less. To me, it was almost like a cozy game and just going around and just fucking with people and just either throwing balloons on everything and just trying to take them all, going around slowly picking apart like bases bit by bit. Later on in the game, when you get the doggo, just having the doggo do most of the work, or just doing weird funny shit and just kind of messing around with it. I honestly the story was just kind of second to whatever else I was doing. It was more fun just kind of going out and just in the same way that the old days of me playing Assassin's Creed, where I honestly just loved going around and just fucking shit up, and the story was just kind of the icing on the cake to it.
Yeah, I love sneaking into bases and stuff in this, and it was up to you how you got in there and what you did. The other Metal Gear Solids obviously were very linear, so it was just you have to go through this hallway and there's a camera and a dude, figure out how to get around them. Here it was there's a whole base and there's this guy in the middle. Figure out how you want to get to him. You want to just snipe everybody? Do you want to sneak in? Do you have companion go in? Balloon everybody? I ballooned everybody. I ballooned whatever that mechanic was. That became my favorite thing. Everything. I was you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Back to base, back to base. I just stole every person. It was a barren wasteland when I was done.
Just kidnapped everybody.
Kidnapped them all, and they all just willingly just showed up at the base. All right, cool, yeah. I guess I
This
work.
is my life now.
That was a good game. That was a really good, fun game.
I'm
I
watching this.
enjoyed
I'm this seems to scratch every itch that I have, and I don't know why it didn't grip me the first time.
Yeah, you never know. It's in the same way that I'm a big JRPG guy. Persona 5 didn't click for me the first time, and then going back and playing it a second. Sometimes if you're just in a different worldview at the time, because the way that I associate with say Persona 5 now compared to when I first played it was not the same. Whereas some of the themes that were in that game really worked, and it could just be a case of at the time you just weren't, that really wasn't the kind of game you were looking for. Whereas now you might just be, this might be something you're looking for. I don't even know if I'd actually playing this game as much now that I have a massive issue with open world games in general.
Yeah.
Sneak into base, make everything float away in a balloon, including cars, I think, too.
Yep.
Everything.
I remember you could do a tank and stuff and everything.
You could literally shoot wildlife and take them. You could sure.
Yeah, wasn't there a thing where you had to build a zoo? I thought you had to build a zoo.
Yeah, you could take the tranquilizer, shoot a bird in the sky, watch it slowly fall to the ground, somehow not die, and then balloon it.
I might have to reinstall this game and do that. I just want to go balloon things. Thank you, Steam Cloud Saves, for letting me just
forget
load
Mario
up and do
Odyssey. Metal Gear Solid understood how to use balloons.
True. So you guys didn't really. Well, Kaylan, you said you did play games in the last week. What'd you play?
So I haven't played much more Clair Obscur.
Okay.
I'm in a weird position with that game, and I think I kind of talked about it yesterday. I'm gonna still go through it.
That would
but
be the
it's
most ultimate 200 episode special, though. Kaylan finally said, "We're not going to get that moment, are we?" Kaylan be like, "You know what? I actually love turn-based RPGs now."
I like. So this is the thing. I like the turn-based RPG mechanic. The problem I'm having is I don't like the dodge and the parry mechanics. I'm not good at it. I don't want to like. I don't want to.
What console are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on Xbox.
Shoot. Okay. I was going to say, because I played on PC. There were mods that actually, like, if you really wanted to, and I used that later on because there became like a couple of areas where we're starting to get hard, where you can actually, like, somebody's modded it so that it's way more forgiving on that.
So they do have that as well in this game. Like, there's the story mode in Clair Obscur, but I feel like it's almost, and I don't know if it's just because I'm so early in the game that they're naturally easy to begin with.
They are naturally easy to begin with. It definitely gets way more complicated into the second act. They really start to have a lot more variation to them. Almost in the same way of like playing Punch-Out. Most of the tells are relatively easy the first cup. And then as soon as you start getting into your Don Flamencos and people like that, it starts to have a little more variety to the timings.
Yeah, so the issue I'm having is like with the story mode is I feel like it's too easy. Like I'm able to just kind of like, I don't even need to dodge. I could just take the hits and it only does like 1 damage, 2 damage, and I'm like, okay, well, I've got 80 hit points. Like, I don't like. I'm doing 70, 80 damage, like just with a basic attack on you, and you're doing 2 on me. Like, naturally,
it'll definitely ramp up. Yeah.
Okay, because that was my concern. Is like, I don't want to like be brutalized in the sense of like, man, I have to get good and master this parry mechanic. But at the same time, I don't want it to be just a walk in the park. Like it's at the point too easy where I'm bored.
Yes.
But I like the story, I like the ambience, I like where it's going. It's just the combat. I'm like, this feels, and I know it's not, and it might be the story. Like, is the story mode making it too shallow of gameplay? And that was my concern. So I'm gonna bear with it for a bit and see how it goes. But I like the turn-based mechanics. I like, having the time to think out my plans and strategize and figure out what I'm doing. So
yeah, like I would say, like after having played through the entire game, the combat. I mean, turn-based RPGs are always going to be kind of monotonous in a way. But what Clair Obscur at least did well was that each character had something unique about them that made them feel different. Whereas especially a lot of old JRPGs were just, they were all fight, attack, like it was all attack, magic, item, defend. Like it was always the same options. Whereas each of them have their own little special thing, especially when you get later on, you have all the characters where you have guys. It's essentially like a blue mage who you slowly just build a repertoire of attacks from by defeating enemies with him. Like, there will be stuff like that where it starts to make things way more interesting because it kind of changes how you engage with each fight depending on who you decide to put in your party. So,
yeah. No,
also,
and like, I'm like, I don't find the mechanics monotonous in that sense, but it's just there's no challenge to it. And I need that middle ground between normal and story. I need like the easy. I need easy. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that would be the only thing. Like, the solution if you had been playing on PC would be to maybe boot it up to normal and then just have a mod to kind of ease up on the timing for the parry, so that way at least you have like the damage was still where you wanted it, but maybe the timing was a little more forgiving. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, the parry is also less forgiving. Like the two of them aren't equal. Dodge has a bigger window for you to actually just like move out of the way. Parry is smaller of a window, but it does a counter attack if you pull it off. So it's kind of like,
it's kind of that risk reward too, because there's some really good builds you can do if you're good at the parrying timing. So
yeah, I got surprised. I sucked in the beginning, and just through playing the game, I don't know what clicked. All of a sudden, I was like really good at parrying. Like it just happened, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like
it's also too because most of the enemies you'll see repeatedly, so you'll start to nail. Like it's only the bosses and like the special monsters that that's where you'll struggle with early on, in the same way of like an Elden Ring, like a boss fight. So like it does have that sense of like, in the main like monotonous playing the same enemies over and over again, you'll eventually get the timings down, and then that becomes a lot easier that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little bit longer and like maybe get like a bit of a build up, and then if I have to, I'll jump over to normal again and see how that goes. But we'll see. The other game I'm playing, I talked about last week. I picked it up, Plucky Squire. Man,
oh yes,
man, what a game! That game
is good?
Awesome. Oh, it's good. Like very much.
Chris, you're a big Legend of Zelda guy. You'll love that game.
Dude, Chris, this is your game. Like this is 100% your game. It's basically Link's Awakening. Like an homage to that, like Link's Awakening mixed with.
You could
like,
almost make a case that it's a link between worlds in the way the mechanic is, where it's you jumping in between a storybook and like.
Oh yeah, a little bit. So it's definitely like that. You're jumping in and out of storybooks. You're going from 2D to 3D. It's a little bit of platforming. It's a little bit of like top-down Legend of Zelda sword fighting. A little bit of like almost like Scribblenauts, or another game that I've heard it is Baba Is You, where like you're taking words and like
Yeah, like word
changing
puzzles.
levels. Yeah, I mean they're super basic. I've not found one yet that is complicated, but like for example, you're like in a book and you're in this part and the books are all stacked up and it's like then the books are stacked like neatly or something like that, and then you have to go and find the word. It's like scattered and it scatters it and opens up the platform for you to get by. So it's like it's great. It's super cute, super charming. I am really liking it. It feels very much like an homage to Legend of Zelda. I don't think it's as good as like the best Legend of Zelda, but it is definitely very much like Link's. I'm playing it and it's like this is Link's Awakening.
That's fantastic, and that sold me. So I'm going to
100%
get it.
So I bought it for.
It's that hard to convince Chris to buy anything at this point.
No, pretty much. Just
Shaking
tell him it's a
keys.
video game. Ding, 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 ding.
Are you playing on Switch or are you playing on PlayStation?
So I got it on Switch, and this is one of the things I love about the Switch too. So I was hesitant because I heard that the Lucky Squire did not play well on Switch 1. Low frame rates, a lot of like bugginess, glitchiness, blah blah blah. I rolled the dice with it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it with the Switch 2. No problems at all. It is very like intuitive. It's very responsive, smooth frame rates. It looks amazing. So I think it's just once again how I'm using the Switch 2 is just like I'm liking it because what I'm doing is I'm using it as a way to kind of revisit games from Switch 1, and it's just making it a better experience. So yeah, I mean, I don't think this would look bad in any console. I just wanted something that I can play on the go. It's easy to pick up. It's easy to play. It is very much for me a Switch game, but I mean, it would do well on any console. This would be one this is a handheld game. I would 100% say this is a handheld game to play. So
that's what I was thinking too. When I looked at it before, I was like, originally it was Steam Deck. I'm like, I'll get this on PC and play it on Steam Deck. But I mean, if it runs on Switch 2 as well, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks to me like it's a handheld.
Like
game.
look like this looks like Link's Awakening, and then there's some levels where you go into like a cave and it becomes a 2D platformer where you have to jump over platforms and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that's Link's Awakening. Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is 100% Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is definitely something I'm going to pick up at some point. It's even got the hopping like spider enemies. They're literally right out of 100%.
You can throw and it's cool. You can throw your sword like you can in God of War.
Oh, okay.
And it like comes back to you. It's really cool. I'm really liking it. It's really charming. The artwork is like the style is. See right there where he's throwing it. It's graphically really cute. Like it's got a really cool style that while maybe not the most like fidelity impressive, is one that will kind of like last. It's not going to kind of date itself. So yeah, I 100% recommend Plucky Squire so far. With the caveat, like I'm telling you, it is an easy game. It's not super hard, but it is one of those chill, relaxing throwbacks to Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, sometimes you just need those. Honestly, I need them in between certain games all the time. So
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, this looks.
That's what I've been playing.
Nice. I've been playing a few things, but I won't talk about all of them. I'll kind of stay focused. The main one that I've been playing that I think Adam will be excited about is Metaphor ReFantazio. Finally started that on Xbox. Yes! I have to make sure that it's
We've got Kaylan playing Expedition 33 and Chris playing Metaphor. This is the perfect 200 for me, honestly.
I got to make sure that it's the next step for Kaylan, and I haven't played much of it, but spoiler alert, it is definitely not this next step for Kaylan. As I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, I like this. Kaylan would not like this part. Not this part. That part, definitely not.
Give me some examples of like what you think I would not like in this game.
The characters, the story, the music.
That's not true.
No, the music actually probably like. No,
it's the fact that it's a Japanese RPG. That's the answer.
It's an anime JRPG. Like it's very anime with its JRPG-ness, and I think that's where we would lose Kaylan if I was going to be completely honest. I do not think he would jive with these characters very well.
I don't necessarily think that this one would be as bad. Now, Chris, you're not that deep into it. Because I know the parts that Kaylan really doesn't like about a lot of Japanese RPGs in general is like the fact that it gets like really weird, and like I know with Persona he probably doesn't really care that much about like the quote unquote dating or like the life sim aspects to it. This game doesn't really have the horny like shipping stuff that a lot of JRPGs do. This is more of a serious like political like war struggle kind of like thing here. I think like out of any Atlas RPG, this could have the best shot at it. I don't necessarily mean that. I don't necessarily think that means he'll still like it.
This has the best chance of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the best chance because honestly, this is like anime Game of Thrones that's just like turned up to 11 and some wacky shit.
And like the villain's really fucking good too.
Yeah.
Like obviously I'll talk to you, Chris, way more once you finish it, but like he's not Kefka level because he's not as insane as Kefka, but like Luis is really, really fucking good as a villain.
Yeah. And I was surprised. They like brought him out and they were like, this guy's the villain, and it's like, oh, he's a king killer and all that, Kingslayer and all that. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you don't introduce the guy right at the beginning and he's the villain. Obviously, there's some like we're misunderstanding him and there'll be a twist. And then sure enough, he just like talks to everybody. And he's like, I'm the villain. And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. This game is just going right for it. It is not trying to twist and turn. It's like we get to see him right from the get-go.
Like realistically, I think what would probably be the Achilles heel for Kaylan would just be like it's a slow start, a very slow start.
I would agree, and the thing is, I do really like this game. I love the characters. I love the voice acting. It's incredible. Honestly, it doesn't feel.
And that's the other thing too.
Unnatural.
Again, it uses a lot of more European style voicing, so it doesn't. So it actually feels different in the same way that like I guess like that's what they were going for with 16, with Final Fantasy 16, I should say.
Yeah, it's kind of like anime Final Fantasy 16 in a way, which doesn't sell Kaylan.
Which makes it good, actually.
Yeah. I would. It's definitely better than 16. I will give you that 100%. No, I think this game is really good. I'm a JRPG nut, and somehow I've never actually played an Atlas JRPG. At least none of the Persona games. I'm not sure if there are others, and maybe I have played them, but Persona, I've never
there's
touched.
the Shin Megami Tensei games as well. Like,
yeah, never played those.
But those are way more like niche and for more hardcore guys because they're way harder.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely not for me. So this was nice for me because it was like a new IP, and I didn't have to like play a bunch of other Persona games to get into the fifth one or something like that. And immediately it's like, yeah, I got the vibes of like a Game of Thrones fantasy world where like it's different classes of people based on what race you are, but the races are obviously different. It's not like the color of your skin. It's like if you have horns, and it's if you're a fairy, if you're an Elda or whatever the main character is, and all that kind of stuff. Like what you were born as, and very, very, very cool. The game throws a lot at you where it's like you unlock powers and then you got a book and then you can see like the different other powers you can unlock, but you only unlock them through relationships with other people. And like the more they like you, the more you unlock powers.
Yeah, it's got like a job system.
Yeah, it's very interesting and very cool. I guess the only complaints I have are which are very minor. The first one is just like that first, like I just finished the Colosseum, and I won't spoil anything. I'm just going to say things, and if you haven't played it, you just won't understand it, and that's fine. I just finished the Colosseum, which is like the first, I would say, main boss that you fight in the game, or maybe second, besides the tutorial boss. I guess I would call the other one. And it just feels like it was big, like it was a big dungeon. And I have a feeling this game is going to have very big dungeons, which you literally, the only way to get MP back, your magic points, is you have to rest. And the only way to rest is to like literally leave the dungeon. Now, fast travel is great. You can find a room and you fast travel right out of there. It's just like, oh, do you want to go to bed? And it's like, yes. You see a little cutscene, you go to bed, you can fast travel right back to where you were and you're back in the dungeon. And I do like this other part, but also it like adds a little stress is you actually have a certain amount of days before this boss does whatever they're going to do. So this boss had something they called a calamity day or something, and you had 6 in-game days to defeat the boss. But as you're going through the dungeon and you hit a save room and it's like, I'm not able to, use any more MP. I'm out. I don't have any items for it. I'm going to have to rest. you lose one day, and if you lose all 6 days, you actually get a game over apparently in the game. Now, I didn't have that, luckily. I was able to like beat the boss and all that kind of stuff, but that kind of adds a little bit of stress. I don't actually care about the days. I don't like that when you're at these save points or you're at these save rooms and stuff, there's just no way to heal your MP outside of items. Like, I really wish there was another way to do that. I could be early in the game too, so there's that.
So there's a neat trick. So mage, if you change your characters to mages, they have an ability that they heal after every battle. They heal some of their MPs, so that's an option. But generally speaking, with Persona games and Atlas games in general, unless you're playing on super easy, the first dungeon is always going to be the test of your ability to make sure you're conservative with items, because it's early in the game. Once you get later on, it's way easier to start accumulating items because they start coming more naturally. But the early dungeon is always the pain in the ass, because you don't have you don't have a much larger inventory of items to work with yet.
Yeah.
So it kind of ends up being like that. It gets better as it goes on.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because this
It's
first
also
dungeon,
the idea too that it's a game design that you have a day system. So the expectation, now granted, most people, especially if you're trying to 100% it, the expectation is that you're going to do the dungeon in one day. But if you're playing it earnestly, like the game kind of intends you to, you're honestly supposed to take like 2 or 3 days to go through a dungeon, because it's you getting to a certain point and going, all right, I'm basically out of stuff. We need to take a break, and we'll come back to it later. Because you have a deadline, so you have till X date to finish this dungeon. So the expectation is like, yeah, you'll finish like maybe a third to half of it, depending on how good a run you get. And then you'll leave, you'll go do some stuff. Maybe you work on a couple of your relationships. So, because as you level up your party members' relationships, they unlock more abilities, or maybe you unlock a different character like an NPC, and maybe that unlocks more room in their store, and you can get better discounts on deals, or maybe it does this certain effect, and you start to accumulate more bonuses. That the second time you go into the dungeon, you're more prepared, you got more items to work with, your characters are a little bit more stronger, they got like this extra ability that really helps you later on, and it just kind of compounds on it. Now, if you're like me and you don't give a shit about any of that because you just want to finish it all in one go, you play it on beginner just so that way it's easy enough. And the first dungeon was still a bit of a slog in terms of the inventory. I was very near the end of my items, but at least it was doable. If I was playing this on normal, I'd have to do this in like at least 2 days of in-game like dungeon crawling, because it would just be way too difficult to do without, dying 17 times waiting for that perfect fight.
Yeah, I'm playing on easy. So there was like a story mode which I didn't choose.
Yeah,
I was
that's
too
what
easy.
I was playing on.
And then normal I didn't want to do, because I'm like, this is an Atlas game, and I know that normal is like not just normal. It's like actually where you got to pay attention to items and magic and like strategy and all that stuff. So I went with easy, because then I could like turn my brain off a little bit, but still have enough challenge. Kind of, Kaylan, what you're talking about with Expedition 33, where you'd like it to be. I was doing fine in all the battles. I would have full HP and stuff. It's just I would get to the point where it's like my MP's out, and
Magic's
I have no
always the issue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to like leave. So that's my only gripe, but I think that's just like a me thing, and I've got to figure out how to either have more items or just like get used to the fact like, no, you don't beat the dungeon in one go. You do leave multiple times, and that's the whole point. Yeah. It is a multi-day.
And like I said too, the mages do have a passive ability where they do gain some MP after every fight. So there's also that as an option. You can just go down to a lower floor, grind out a little bit just to get your MP back, and then go back. Because at least with the fast travel at the save points, you at least can move from back and forth.
Oh yeah, I love that fast travel. Yeah, and I haven't changed out my I can't remember what the heck the powers are called, but like I haven't changed a mage or anything. I was maxing out like rank 20, the ones I currently have, and I'm like almost there.
So I'll give you this little bit of information without getting too much into it. Don't do that right away.
Okay.
In the early game, you'll wanna mix classes, because they'll have abilities you can cross over into another, so you'll be able to kind of have a bit more of an interesting build. Once you get let's say about a third into the game, then you'll really want to focus on maxing them out, because that will unlock like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a level up of that class, essentially. Like the elite form of it, essentially.
That makes sense.
But like in the early game, like you probably once you get to level 10, you can probably move off that class for now, because you'll want to give them as many different abilities as possible, so that if you have certain builds you want to take through. Because I mean, if you need a healer, you'll at least like having everybody knowing cure to some extent will help if you like, well, I really want this person to be this class and I want this person to be this class, so somebody has to be able to heal somewhere. So having the ability to be it's kind of in the way that like when you play Final Fantasy VI where like you want everybody to have as many of the magic spells as possible so that they're all like they can all use it in a pinch.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look more into that because I kind of just like went in and I'm like I'm gonna max out my guys and be crazy and yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos too, or even articles that are just like a bunch of quick tips for early gamers just to kind of get ahead of the curve on what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. But the game is beautiful. I love the UI and everything in it. It's like a lot like what I loved from Expedition 33 with the beautiful UI and everything.
They
like it was.
Have never been wrong with menu UIs. They're always amazing.
Yeah. Oddly enough, on Steam, you can get different videos that play when you turn on your Steam Deck, and games are allowed to create one. And Atlas made a metaphor one where it's all the characters' faces when you go into a battle and it zooms on a character's face. It's like all of those in a row, and then it just shows the Steam Deck logo. That's what like originally got me hyped to like start this. So yeah, it is a lot of fun. I do really like it. The only other thing
it'll be Kaylan's game of the year someday.
100%. Never, I don't think happening.
No. I've actually zoned out as you guys have been talking about this, just to be honest.
What a surprise.
Refantasia? What a dumb name by.
All right, well, you guys can go talk about your stupid audiobooks, and I'll tone out for 5 minutes too.
The only thing other that I want to quickly mention that I've been playing is it's more funny, is I got my wife re-addicted to Tetris. I charged up her Switch Lite and brought it up to her. Not just Tetris. She got like addicted to Tetris 99, like trying to win and like win against people in the world who've been playing Tetris their whole lives, or they're just kids and they're like really good at it. I got her addicted to that, and now I also just can't use my PlayStation because she discovered Tetris Effect, the one with like the rave music. I have it on PlayStation. I bought it there because it works with the PSVR and it's like so cool. But my wife discovered my PS Portal upstairs, and she saw a Tetris, and I was like, "Oh, it's this one." And then I literally was watching YouTube on the PlayStation this morning because that's what I use while I work. And then all of a sudden, it just showed Chris is connected through Remote Play, and it just like exited to the menu, went to Tetris, and she like took over the PlayStation, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll just turn on the Xbox and watch YouTube there while I work. Like I have it in the background while I'm working." It was very funny, but yeah, she is straight up like addicted to Tetris again. So I played a little Tetris 99 while I sat with her. I'm like, well, I have a Switch. I'll play some Tetris. I suck because it was like 1 p.m. in Japan and they beat all of me. Like there was no chance.
I was just going to say, because I've watched you play, you panic.
Holy crap. Not only do I panic, it's just like I don't even get a chance. I don't even understand how the game works where all of a sudden everybody aims at you. Where I had 3 lines in Tetris, and then when other people get like a few lines in a row and then it like puts it on yours, mine went from me having 3 lines to it just filled the screen in one go.
They saw you as the weakest link.
Like you can't choose people into I guess you kind of can, but still I have no idea what happened. Somebody singled me out, or a group of people did, and they took me out in one shot. It was like, oh cool, I came in 87th out of 99. That's so great. Like holy hell, that game is hard. Yeah. But that's the only other thing I played beside Metaphor. Gotta play some Tetris sometimes, you know?
Gotta play Tetris.
Got to.
You know, did you ever hear that thing that they say that actually, like, if you have like a traumatic event, play Tetris, and it like helps reduce the likelihood or like the severity of PTSD?
Really?
Yeah, there's like apparently like a study that they did, and it was like if you were like they were talking, I forget if it was like first responders or soldiers or whatever, but like Tetris. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find the article.
That's incredible.
It up right now.
I mean, that kind of would make sense.
From 2020, trauma treatment in Tetris video gaming increases hippocampal volume in male patients with combat-related post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. Let's see.
So they say like
conclusion. Tetris may be
used
as an adjunct therapeutic intervention for PTSD. Tetris-related increases in hippocampal volume may ensure that therapeutic gains are maintained after completion of therapy. So yeah, seems like there's some sort of link that they're drawing that it, like obviously it's not a cure, but it's something to at least like divert some of their brain power to away from it.
Yeah, so what like just I'm doing like a Google sort of AI supplement sort of thing, and basically what they're saying is that like I guess the part of the brain that we use to like play Tetris can kind of take away resources from your memory, like compartmentalizing and storing that PTSD. So it like makes it harder for you to like form memories and stuff of that traumatic event.
Oh.
So they say you have to play like Tetris within like the first like 6 hours, and it'll help reduce the like I guess the vividness or like how much of that you remember and like how traumatic it becomes. So
Yeah, because it sounds like from the little bit of reading that I'm doing, like it's not a case of like it heals it. It's more like it prevents it from happening. So,
yes.
So it's a case of like, somebody has a traumatic event, like you bring them in, you just put them on that game for a little bit, and it kind of just the part of the, like you said, the part of the brain that's interacting with Tetris seems to block out whatever ideas that you're having about it, which is like a really interesting. That's a really interesting thing. See again, gaming isn't just for starting school shootings, okay? Sheesh.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense because Tetris, it's like puzzle solving, right? And it's like it's not the type of puzzle solving where if you had like Sudoku or something on a paper in front of you, you can take as long as you want with that because it's a piece of paper. Like you will go as fast as you can go. Tetris doesn't give you a choice. It's puzzle solving with a time limit. And it's like you better go, and also the music kicks ass, and that's probably the real part. But yeah, like that's true. It's like it turns on your puzzle solving, and you gotta like go. So I can see how that would work. It's just not something I would have thought to try.
Well, that's because you don't like Tetris. You would rather that study be done with Picross.
Oh my god, Picross is so good. Oh god, Picross is so good. But I also like Tetris.
Yeah, the Tetris sound effect, like theme song, is so good.
Oh, it is.
So I'm a history nerd, as you guys know, and so there was actually a guy who made a song about the Russian history of like the last 100 years, from like basically like the Russian Revolution to now, to the theme of the Tetris song.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that fits very well.
It does.
I love also just the real life story of Tetris, like the guy who made it, and like get it, everybody fighting for the rights, and like technically like no one really, well, I guess they kind of had some rights, but it was only to like an arcade and not the home console, which was different, and all this. And have either of you seen the Apple?
So is there a show or so about that?
There was a movie on Apple about it called Tetris, and it was so good. Whoever the actor is from The Kingsman, I can't remember his name. You know, the kid from Kingsman?
Eggy, whatever his name is?
Yeah, Eggy Egglesgord.
Eggy Brittenton?
Yeah, Eggy Brittenton. That's the guy. He plays like the American guy that's like, I'm going to get the rights for this, and like goes to Russia. And it has like some great actors and stuff in it. It is such a good movie. I watched it with my wife because I'm like, well, you like Tetris, so here's a movie that you might like. The real life story is so freaking cool. Like it's one of the most interesting things in video game history to me. Like such a cool story. And the fact that the two guys are still who are making Tetris today, like they're the Tetris company. So when a new Tetris game is out, it's like still the guy who made Tetris is a part of it. That's wild to me. Like he's just like, yeah, no, I make blocks fall and you clear them and good. Like
so that we don't insult him further. His name was Taron Egerton.
Oh, like the actor?
Yes.
Taron. I didn't even think that's what it was. He's a great actor. I just don't remember his name.
Oh my god! I just realized the character's name in Kingsman is Eggy, not the actual.
I just always forget his name because it's just one that eludes me because it just sounds funny. But he's a great actor, and he's really good in that movie too.
He doesn't do enough stuff, really. Like I think about it, he's only, like the only stuff I know of that he's done is Kingsman, and he did the Elton John movie, like Rocket Man. Those are the only two things
he
I
was
know
so
from.
Good in that movie too.
Why don't we see him more? Like, give Timothée Chalamet like a break and get him to do some stuff.
Yeah, I don't need him as much. I like this guy more.
His list isn't really that large. Yeah.
I mean, when you peak at Tetris, like, where do you go from there?
Like, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. No, but seriously, you should watch the movie if you haven't. Give it a go. It's a really fun, and it's very nostalgic because it's a lot of things that happens with Nintendo in it, and meeting like the president of Nintendo and getting to see the Game Boy, and like they actually pull out like all the stops when it comes to the Nintendo stuff, and what you get to see. Very, very nostalgic stuff. So, and it's actually exciting too. It's like all these people fighting for rights, and it's like this chase that's kind of happening, including the Russian government. So Very wild story and made for a very fun movie with a lot of fun video game references. So highly suggest it.
I'm gonna say, because my teenage brain is just not gonna allow me to get past this. So one of the things he's been doing, which probably has nothing to do with why he's only doing like small things or like movies and television shows. In 2022, he was too busy doing a theater production called Cock.
Which is actually the sequel to Tetris. It's very weird. Tetris 2, Cock.
I just scrolling through and I just stopped there and went, I can't look away from that. I have to say something, otherwise I'm gonna hate myself for not bringing it up.
Gotta say the name.
Well, there goes now we're gonna get like demonetized from YouTube. We've just said it.
As opposed to what? Look, I mean, it gets to work. I mean, we finally got our first like copyright, quote unquote, like not a strike, but basically the first big notice on me
bad boys, guys. We're bad boys.
Me reacting to, I think it was the Summer Game Fest stream. It was either that or the Xbox Showcase. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sony, because
boys,
Sony had nothing of interest, so it was fine.
Yeah. It must have been something with Xbox, because they apparently need money, so they were looking to make their claims on our video.
God, I could spend a whole nother hour on that, but I don't want to. It's supposed to be a happy special.
It is. That's why we're talking about the Tetris movie and how good it is.
Adam, I want you to do some digging, figure out what this play is about.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Just Google the name of it. It should probably give you all the details.
It had its own Wikipedia page. It just says, well, without me going in deep into the plot, it just says it's a 2009 British play premiered at the Royal Court Theatre in 2009 and centers around John, a gay man who feels torn after meeting and falling in love with a woman.
Huh. Well, that actually sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's actually as funny as I thought it would be, but cool.
And they fall in love over Tetris, which he was one of the founders of.
It all circles back.
It all circles back.
Not everything's just going to be a play on Magic Mike, okay, guys? Calm down.
When does he turn into Elton John in that play, though? That's also what I need to know.
He's a cocket man?
Ah!
Oh, my God.
That was it. That's it. That's our show, everybody. Thank you.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Oh, this is the content people pay for.
Speaking of video games,
what about
Chris, are you getting the Donkey Kong Bananza thing this week? Are you getting that or no?
I think so. I'm gonna quickly see reviews to make sure, like, it's not like, hey, don't buy this because it just installs a virus on your Switch and it catches fire. Like, make sure it's more like Digital Foundry, make a video and show me how well it runs and everything. And it's just because it's Nintendo. Normally things come out already in like pristine order, but there's been the odd time where it's like a week or two later they'll have an update and it's like, and then
there's also Pokemon.
This a bit. No, we don't. Not that. We're not Pokemon. That gets fixed the next generation console later.
Sort of.
Well, they're saying that apparently there is some like frame rate and some glitching and stuff, and it's not a smooth running game.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of want to see first. But if the reviews are like, honestly, it's still like a 9 out of 10 or whatever that normally a Nintendo game gets.
I mean, it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. They get a pass.
Yeah, like kind of, right?
I mean, considering they haven't they haven't laid anybody off yet, so I mean, they do kind of get a pass at this point, don't they?
No, I'm not saying like in terms of like, but they get a pass in terms of like everyone always just like there's a bump for Nintendo, like you said, they can send out a game that's just like, this is just gonna like put a virus and burn your Switch, and people be like, it does do that, but it also has great gameplay, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like a lot of people, when you put like, I don't put in a Mario game or a Donkey Kong game or anything like that. Like, what's the frame rate? Oh, what's this? Like, I'm glad that it runs smooth and it like looks nice and stuff, but I want to play it. I am excited to have just like a new Nintendo game. It's like not a new IP, but it's a new take on a franchise, which is new instead of a sequel. People were kind of upset that it's not Mario Odyssey 2. But I'm glad that it's something like this, because Donkey Kong's games have all been just re-releases of his Wii and Wii U Donkey Kong Country games for a while. And this is actually like a new take on something, and it seems interesting and like, again, unique. So it looks really fun. And plus, I got to figure out how this is a prequel to the Donkey Kong arcade game where he kidnaps this chick when he's done. Like, I need to know, right? And then she runs New Donk City and Odyssey. Like, there's so much lore here that they've got to unravel. I just got to see
so
it.
much trauma.
Yeah, this poor girl.
Should have played some Tetris.
My honest question is, how is he breaking all this shit and she's not getting hit by any of it?
It's come on, because
Here's
she's
a question.
obviously ducking.
Why is the monkey wearing a necktie? Like, why is he doing that? Why is he called Donkey? Like, why are we asking questions here?
That's true. That's true. Because I think King Kong was taken.
Hey, I'm gonna search up. Why is Donkey Kong called Donkey Kong? Back to the Googles.
Yeah, I don't know what the donkey is for. I know that he was like obviously very closely King Kong, and Universal tried to sue Nintendo and lost back in the 80s. I do know that.
It's always, but the game does look. It's always some weird, like, trying to skirt around, copyright, or it's some weird thing that they, like, when they were like drunk at a bar one day coming across and just something sticks. Like, it's always weird how that comes up.
There's always lots of like little lore and stuff in there too. Like, I think it was the lawyer from that saved Nintendo's name was, his last name was Kirby, which is where they got the name for the little pink guy, was actually from like that lawyer's last name. They were like, oh, I like that. And I think Mario's name was like a landlord for one of the guys that worked at Nintendo or something like that. I don't know. There's like,
I think actually, I remember reading Console Wars, and I think he was like either the first. Like, I think he owned the warehouse that they lived in.
Oh, the warehouse. That's what it was. Yeah, and they're like, "Wow, this guy's crazy, and that's a cool name. Let's make him." Yeah. That's we'll go with that.
So I'm on the website medium.com, and I said, "Why is he called Donkey Kong?" And it kind of fades out because they want me to create an account. I'm not doing that. But essentially, they said that in 1981, Shigeru Miyamoto wanted an English name that would convey the character of a stubborn, foolish ape. Upon using a Japanese-English dictionary, he chose donkey for its association with stubbornness. Miyamoto combined it with Kong, a name already linked with gorillas thanks to King Kong. While the name may have sounded strange, it fades out from there, and I'm not making an account. Nice try, Medium.
Yeah, so because I read a little bit more into it, so apparently like he was going for the gist of like stubborn or stupid, and he came up with Donkey Kong. And Nintendo of America told him that's not what it meant, but he was already so in love with the name, he said, nope, I'm still calling it that. Too bad.
And they're like, you will be very important to not just this franchise, but this company. You should do what you need to do.
I'm telling you guys, this Miyamoto guy, he's going places.
Yeah, he's probably going to be a big deal one day. I hope he makes it. Oh god, that
like I got general reservations. I say this as someone who doesn't even own a Switch 2 anyway, so it's not like my opinion matters all that much. But like, I'm going into it like hoping that it does well, obviously, because I want to see Donkey Kong make a resurgence again. But like, every time I look at the games, I'm like, I don't know if this game really knows what it is either, because it just kind of looks, I don't even know how to really explain it necessarily. It just something feels off.
Yeah. It's kind of like Mario Odyssey, how that kind of looked weird at first. It's like, wait, so there's a dinosaur and a dragon, but then you're in a city, but then you're in a forest, and you're on this little floating island.
You're also a frog. You're also a frog,
and you turn into the T-Rex, and like there's a lot of weird things
uncommon.
happening.
Mario's turned into way many other things over the course of his time.
That's true.
He used to be a raccoon. Come on.
I think the concept of this Donkey Kong game is they actually have to like keep digging deeper. Each level is actually like a level lower, and you're getting closer and closer to like the center of the earth or whatever. And the whole game is actually playing below like the ground level. Like, even though there's a sky and stuff, it's that weird thing, kind of like in the King Kong movies and stuff that are recent, where it's like, oh, King Kong actually lives in the center of the earth, and you go down and there's just like a whole world there with like a sky, and it's
I think you're looking too deep. I think it's a case of they're just trying to copyright infringe again, but they don't want to. They're just copying the core and don't want to tell anybody.
They're copying Inception. That's what they're doing. We need to go deeper. Go another layer deeper.
There's a 13-year-old girl down here. Keep going. Like, why is she here? She's like, I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I think this
Miyamoto guy. Miyamoto just said, put it in there. We don't ask questions about Miyamoto anymore.
They love Pauline, but you know what? This is a prequel. Make her 13, and it's like, do you know how the first Donkey Kong starts? Where she's kidnapped? Yeah, I don't know. So I'm interested because it does look like fun to play.
Yeah, I think Donkey Kong Bananza will do really well when it first comes out, just because it is the first launch game. I'm not putting Mario Kart because it's kind of in a weirder spot, but like I think it's gonna start out with a strong reception, but then as the Switch library gets bigger and more, I think people will kind of be like, it's not the strongest one. Like I think this will
100%.
This will benefit from not having like someone to compare it to, but
yeah, like we could definitely be way off, but it kind of gives the vibe of a game that's going to be not nearly as remembered by the time the life cycle of this console ends.
Absolutely, and I think Donkey Kong kind of suffers with that anyways, like as a character or as a franchise, because Donkey Kong Country was like a huge deal on Super Nintendo, but even the other Donkey Kong Country games on Wii and Wii U and stuff, it's like, do people go like, oh, the best game I ever played in my life is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? I don't think a lot of people say that or even remember that's what it's called. Like, I think it's another thing with it.
You guys remember playing Donkey Kong Country 3? You play as like the baby Donkey Kong?
Yeah, and like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong aren't even in it. It's like...
Yeah,
it's Dixie and whatever the other one was.
Baby Dixie Kong, what was his name?
It was like Kitty Kong or something like that.
It might have
Maybe it was Kitty Kong.
Let me double check.
Yeah, check it out. I just remember playing that with my sister a lot, and like it had like an overworld, and you could like fly around on like this little like hovercraft, and we would just drive around in there for hours, not doing anything.
It was Kitty Kong.
Kitty Kong. Yeah. That one was one I loved. That one too. I mean, I feel like the first and second one were a little bit better.
Oh, they definitely were better.
Yeah, but the third one was still good. It was still quality, still very good quality.
Yeah, they were all really, really good. I would go with the second one out of all of them, but
oh yeah,
I agree.
Even the music in that one, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
The music in those games did not need to be that good, but they were.
Surprisingly, one of the things like with Nintendo, like we all like talk about how good Nintendo is. Nintendo is probably the best console in terms of like soundtracks. Like think of all the ones like GoldenEye, Donkey Kong, like Legend of Zelda. Like they have so many bangers of songs. I don't think there's another console
they put such an emphasis on melodies, which is the biggest part of it. Like a lot of games now are just going for atmospheric stuff. Nintendo even today, like obviously in the old days of like the NES, Super Nintendo, like the sound chips only had a very limited amount of space for music, so they had to be very selective on the notes to begin with. Whereas, you know, obviously today, like they could now just create like all these masterpiece like atmospheric songs, but most of their main tracks still today have very much of a catchy melodic influence to them.
Oh, yeah. I still listen to a bunch of the songs, like Aquatic Ambiance from Donkey Kong Country, the underwater song.
Yep.
I almost want to buy this new Donkey Kong game because I just know they're going to somehow fit that in there where there's going to be a water level and it's going to be like a remixed version of that. I'm going to be like, I made the right choice. Buying this was the right choice. Yeah, but I agree. Their melodies and stuff, they focus so well on music and themes. Stuff like that. You'll hear a Legend of Zelda theme, a Kirby theme, a Star Fox theme, all of that, and you like just recognize it, right? Like
I was gonna say, just play a Smash game and just go through the jukebox of all the tracks there, and you'll get a pretty good sense of why like so many of their songs are so memorable, because there's all such an emphasis on there's always like a 15-second segment somewhere where there's an unforgettable like earworm of a melody that you never forget.
So, fun story, when I had my second kid, I actually I didn't do it so much with the first one, but definitely with the second one. When I was putting him to sleep and I had to like hum or sing, I didn't do nursery rhymes. I did video game soundtracks, and I'd do Legend of Zelda. And you know why? It's because it is such a perfect song to just loop that I could hum that same song for.
It literally has a lullaby.
Exactly. Well, I was doing the Link to the Past overworld, like dun dun dun, 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 dun. I don't want to get a copyright strike again. You know, we're already on strike one.
Honestly, I thought that was the game playing it right away.
But you're like, yeah, like it's great to, like with kids, because I can just you can listen to those songs on loop, and like they love it. It's something I know, and you don't have to like worry about having an abrupt end. It just loops until they kind of fall asleep.
Also, fun fact.
It kind of makes me want that like Nintendo alarm clock, but I can't justify the stupid price of it.
No,
$130.
Right, like
Canadian.
Again, they know the people that will. But enough about Chris.
It needs a 10% discount before I will even move on that.
What if I can get on Facebook Marketplace? I'm gonna check Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, probably.
Probably costs more.
a fun fact about Nintendo music. For my wedding, when me and my wife walked down the aisle, like after the ceremony, it was Gerudo Valley, but like a violin version of Gerudo Valley that played.
Of course, you got to classy it up.
You got to classy it up. Can't just play the actual normal song. Oh yeah. And is anybody else surprised Kaylan didn't do The Last of Us for the humming, like the Last of Us theme for when he was humming to his child to go to sleep?
I mean, it's not that good. Like, it's a great song, but it's not one you can. It doesn't have like that basic easy melody that's easy to do.
Also, I think you didn't want your kid having nightmares while trying to sleep.
I thought he just didn't want to have his kid remembering overrated music from an overrated game.
Okay.
How dare you?
The music is fantastic. You can say what you want about that game, but that music is so
I wouldn't
good.
know. I didn't get long enough into it to even hear it.
I will listen to that song just like on its own. Like Last of Us soundtrack is one of the ones I will put on in the background just to listen to.
Absolutely.
It's so chill. Also, I found the Alarmo thing on Facebook Marketplace. It's like cheapest one I can get is $115, and I'm not doing that.
What? It's 130 new. Why would you save only $15 to buy it used? Yeah, I saw that at EB Games when I was there the other day. Just passing by.
Good on you for not buying it. I thought you would buy it.
I looked at it. $130. Like, my phone wakes me up every morning. Like, that's where my alarm is. And it wakes me up to my music of choice, which is Balam Garden from Final Fantasy VIII, Adam. That's the perfect wake-up song if you ever need to pick one. Yeah, like, Alarmo is cool.
Or you could just be like me and not need an alarm to wake up. You just, for whatever reason, your body's trained to wake up at 6:30 on the dot.
Oh, I can't do that. If I don't wake up, my body will be like, you should sleep until noon. And I'll be like, what the? Like, I have to be up at 9. I have to. Like,
that is true. You do need at least 7 cups of coffee a day, so.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
if I don't wake up,
my alarm clock is more expensive than all of yours. Mine's this child that I have to feed daily in order to wake me up. Best thing though is no snooze function. It's just wake up, Dad. Carpe diem. Let's go.
No. There is a snooze button. You're the snooze button. It just walks in and goes, get up.
Yeah, you're the alarm clock that they have to hit.
Yeah.
I feel like Alarmo would be a great thing to buy a kid if it's like you needed to teach them time and like an alarm and teaching them to not get up until their alarm goes off and that kind of stuff, because it would be fun. But then I would steal it from my kid and put it in my room because I finally bought it, and I would set it to Legend of Zelda, and then my poor kid would just
say
never
like
wake up.
$50. $50 is that sweet spot where I would get the alarm clock for $50.
Yes, if it was 50, I would also probably get it. I think that's a very cool idea. It's neat when I was looking at it, because I did quickly look at it. It like actually has motion sensors, so the longer you're in bed, the louder it gets and the more intense it's like telling you to get up, and it can tell you're in bed because it's like got these sensors and stuff on it. It's such a Nintendo thing. Like, you can't.
And I don't need that for an alarm clock. I just need it to, when it hits this time, just play noise.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. It is a cool idea, but
it's a great dream of you guys to hope for it to be 50, but we all know that Nintendo doesn't go anywhere below 30%. So I hope you enjoy about, $95?
I'll get it in 11 years when somebody's selling it at a garage sale.
Yeah.
Chris 1, Nintendo 0.
Got him.
Got him.
It is kind of a beauty when you are able to like find something, whether it's in a thrift shop or a garage sale. Like, honestly, whenever I pass by like somebody doing a yard sale in the street, I'm like, what are the chances? And then I quickly look, I'm like, it just looks like a shit ton of clothes and antiques. No thanks, and just drive on. But like somewhere deep under there's this box of just like 200 NES games, and you're just like, cool, I could have got that for $10. Just like those episodes of Storage Wars, you say, it's like you open up a garage and there all of a sudden is just thousands of dollars worth of video games. You're just like, yeah, someone would clearly not, would completely just ignore that ever existed there. Sure, I'll believe that.
Going around to garage sales for video games was like one of my favorite things as a kid. My parents would do garage sales, and I remember getting a game. We already had a Game Boy, but I had 2 sisters, and we were always sharing. There was like, it was a Game Boy with like 10 games and even like a zipper case that held it all.
Sick.
Oh, and we got it for, I have no idea. I would make a guess like $20 to $50 or something, but oh, that was a great day. Like, just kind of finding that kind of stuff that someone's selling and they don't want for some reason.
Yeah, when his mom's selling her kids old games and they don't know how much they're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom and Dad for getting rid of my Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, N64. I'm not mad.
Joke's on you.
I could have bought a Retron 5 and actually would have had games to play it with, but no.
That's another thing I need.
That's fine. I'm building a new PC, and the other one's going to go to the main room. I can just put an emulator on that, and it'll be fine. Same thing.
This is true. This is true.
Are you excited, Chris?
I'm so excited to help build a PC because, like, I just built mine, but now it's kind of like cool. For 5 years, I don't get to build a PC unless I play PC Simulator. But then someone like you has like, oh, Chris, I need help. It's like poof of smoke in my shape where I was once, and then I'm where your PC is, and we're building it.
Yeah, for those curious, I'll definitely post pictures once it's all done, and I'll post the build in the Discord once that's there. But yeah, finally got all the parts together. It's kind of crazy because like. The intent was because I got a big bonus this year for my work, and I was like, okay. Originally, Chris and I's plan was to go to Minnesota to Summer Games done quick, but obviously in the States, there's some shit going on that's kind of making us not want to cross the border right now. It's just some minor stuff. So I'm like, well, shit, like, what am I gonna do with this? And then I realized, like, fuck, like, I've never gotten to build a PC before. This is around that time that I'm starting to see the card prices like not be $2,000 for anything. So I'm like, this might be the time to finally try it. So I kept it in my back pocket, and then randomly, like late last month, I just like started messing around again with pieces because I've been doing it once in a blue moon, but it was obviously like, this is way too much money. I'm not gonna bother with this. And then finally, knowing that I wasn't gonna do anything in the summer with this money that I initially planned for a trip for, I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do a build, let's do some research. And I spent like a good day just kind of researching different parts, and then I finally got like my proper build, and then I'm like, okay, I'll set price triggers for everything. They probably won't hit anytime soon, and it'll be fine. And then out of nowhere, I get an email saying that the video card that I was interested in buying, which I had set to not notify me until it somehow went under $900, which was a shot in the dark because that thing is normally like $1,150 Canadian, and it was apparently on for $700. And I'm like, what? Click, and then I got it. Well, it turns out it was a third-party seller on Amazon, and they must have fucked up real bad because they took the storefront down and nothing happened. So I complained. Somehow Amazon, I managed to convince them to give me a $100 gift card as long as I bought that same thing directly from them. And like a few days later, it was on for like $9.89 or something, or like $9.99. And I'm like, well, if I put $100 on top of that, that's $8.99. Good enough. And we got it. And I thought, okay, that's probably it. I'll probably be not seeing anything go below my triggers for a while. And then the motherboard, which was, I had motherboards under $200, but they were lesser versions of the motherboard. There was one that's normally $255 that went under $200, and I'm like, shit, I gotta get that now. All right, well, that's there for $192. Okay, all right, fine. Motherboard and the video card. Okay, that's a lot more than I was expecting in a couple of days. Surely, and then like the end of that week, I had everything. Because Prime days.
Classic Prime. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
So the build is in total about $2,600. That's taxes included. So it's a beast.
Yeah, it's good parts. It's a 9070.
Yeah, it's 9070 XT.
Yeah. So you're like, your PC's already beating my PC. You're
Yeah,
gonna be the PC guy.
That sucker's gonna be good for a number of years, that's for sure. And I mean, it's at the point too that like, I think I've got a good enough system that I think if I really, really wanted to upgrade, all I could do is just change the card out, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Because I think the CPU that I have is probably good enough for a little while longer anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, enjoy updating your drivers, nerds.
Kaylan, you're building the whole thing, man. You're actually doing it. That's the whole point. That's the episode. We're doing Kaylan builds. PixelPlay.
I can't wait to see all the things that go wrong the second we try to put this fucker together.
Oh no, I know what I'm doing. This is gonna go fine. The part that always sucks is installing Windows. It's a pain in the ass, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and no one knows why. And then you just do it again, and then it works on the third try.
I can't wait for this to be like flawless across the board, and you'd be like, "Why does this only happen to my PCs?"
You're just not making me. This is not selling me on PC gaming.
Kaylan, let me tell you,
if you get a pre-build, you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but don't do that. You don't want to do pre-build. You want it to be so custom.
I mean, my first actual PC I bought was a pre-build. It was fine, but like,
you don't want to be one of those like fake poser PC nerds.
Well, when you have $3,000 to throw at something, of course you don't want to be a poser. At that point, you're like, all right, we're going fucking for funsies here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Kaylan, when I had built a PC back when my wife was like, that PC tower that is ugly may not be in this condo when I was moving in with her. Because it would be like just sitting next to the TV, like just this massive PC tower. She's like, absolutely not. I had to change the build so it was like in a VCR looking case. Like I found looked like an Xbox One. It was just like a PC case where clearly they knew people were trying to build like media boxes more for their TV.
So kind of in a way like a micro ATX sort of case.
It was a micro ITX, but like it was literally all sideways flat, designed in a very nice way. And I also took the opportunity to just like build a whole new PC. I was like, well, now my PC needs to be updated because I have a new case, so I need new everything. It for an entire day, the thing wouldn't turn on, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I fucked this up. I don't know what it is. And all it was is like there was 2 power cables that need to go from the power supply to the motherboard, and I had only done one, and I had spent 24 hours like, I can't believe after all of this, I think a couple of these things are out of their return warrant like policy time frame and all that, and then it was like, oh, I missed a plug, and then all of a sudden gaming was a go.
That doesn't appeal to me at all.
No, it is not for the faint of heart, but when that thing works and you play some games like Mafia 2, I played a little bit now at like 120 frames per second.
$1,000 of system just to play a game from 2004.
I was telling Chris before you came on, Kaylan, the plan is to probably like christen the game with trying out Doom.
Yeah, I think Doom: The Dark Ages would be a real good one.
No, the original Doom.
Doom like 94.
I was gonna play like Wolfenstein 3D, and then maybe like the OG like EverQuest.
Oh God, I'm pretty sure there's actually versions of Doom and stuff that have like full ray tracing and stuff embedded into it. Like,
somebody's probably done something with it.
Yeah, like you could do that and actually try and push it real hard and see what it would look like. It would probably look really cool. That's
Adam, thing. I got the game you christened the PC with. Christen it with Zork, the text adventure game.
No. I'm gonna download that copy of that 3D space pinball game that defaulted with every Windows computer.
You know that was actually a full game.
Because it's 3D.
Like, that was just a demo.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, no, that game was that Space Cadet pinball game was just a demo of a full like pinball game, and there was other tables. Yeah,
I only ever played the one.
I think it was made by was it made by ZeniMax or was it made by like Peter Molyneux or something?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I'm also kind of disappointed, like, in retrospect now, like, man, if I knew ahead of time that I was going to have a machine like this, I would have waited to play Cyberpunk until I had that.
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest thing for me when I booted that up on my new PC, and I was like, what the hell is this beautiful thing? Like,
yep.
It was crazy, the upgrades that
also,
exist.
Expedition would look nice on this machine, too.
Oh, yeah. I think that would look gorgeous. I played that on the Xbox, and it's like you can just tell that obviously FSR is like turned up a lot. The only issue with consoles for me is like it's FSR 2, and it just like
that's the thing because like the current thing I have is FSR 4. I think it's going to be right.
Yeah, because even when you look at the Switch 2 and it's running DLSS, like Cyberpunk on Switch 2 looks nicer than it will look on Steam Deck because Steam Deck doesn't have DLSS and it does not do FSR 4. Steam Deck's too old, and it's crazy that like a Switch will look. Don't get me wrong, it's still only running at 30 or 40 frames per second, but like the fact that it looks like that on that compared to even a Steam Deck because of the different upscaling tech is wild.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't care if FSR 4 is like basically on par at that point. That's a gorgeous one. I wish I had FSR 4 on my PC.
You have any luck there, Kaylan? You still
losing
the battle with Google?
Still looking for it. Still working on it.
Shame.
Are you watching a playthrough of Zork?
No.
I hear it's a riveting playthrough.
What was that? Oh, Dragon's Lair? Like what other like old school like classics that was on everything? Like Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair was so good. I loved that game. I think I had a Game Boy version of Dragon's Lair, and
it was on everything, man.
Like, it was on everything.
Like Todd Howard wishes he was on as many things as Dragon's Lair was on.
Dragon's Lair is inside Skyrim. It's crazy. Literally, you have to go to a place called the Dragon's Lair. It's wild.
Also, man, I got this PC just in time for Elder Scrolls 6, right?
Oh yeah, that should be out soon. Right after.
By the way, what do you think about the idea that Fallout 5 is finally being greenlit? Apparently,
I mean, inevitable.
Inevitable. And the last one was like 2016, so it's almost 10 years old. And I don't think we're still going to see it for like another 5 years. Greenlit means nothing when it comes to either Fallout.
I'm more just being like
Elder
general
Scrolls.
excitement because, like, to me personally, I don't know. Like, Fallout hasn't really felt the same since Fallout New Vegas.
I think I'm different only because I joined Fallout at Fallout 4. I played New Vegas later, and I've never fully played 3. And so I'm excited because, like, even with 4, I actually really loved the world and everything in it. And also, when you take that Amazon show, that's actually really good, and they're gonna have a season 2 and all that. That'll just build my hype for the franchise. As long as I ignore
didn't the Twisted Metal second season just come out?
I don't know.
I think so. That's not one I watch. I have not seen the Twisted Metal show.
For me, Fallout is one of those games where it's not about like the story or anything like that. It's literally about the world and the location. Like, that's all I need from Fallout. I don't need like this really good, compelling story. I just want to go and explore a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And I think one of the things that game does really well is those little micro stories within. Like, you go into a building and you'll just figure out like there's a little story of what happened in that building, like that small little dungeon, and that's what for me is really cool about Fallout. So even if the story, like Fallout 4 didn't have like the best story, but I still enjoyed it from just exploring, Boston.
Yeah. Exploring, and that was actually fun. It was not as good as Witcher 3, but it's the same idea that you'd find little stories within the world, and it was enjoyable to go through them. I completely agree. I couldn't even remember what the main story of Fallout 4 is. I just was
searching
going
for
around
your
and doing everything.
Son who got kidnapped at birth or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I've confirmed that the developer of it's called Full Tilt Pinball was created by Cinematronics, which didn't do anything super great, but it was published by Maxis, the guys who make published Sims.
Huh.
There you go. The more you know.
I didn't play Minesweeper. That's honestly what you should probably play.
What about Daytona USA?
Get it. Do it. 100%.
I got a break in the steering wheel that I eventually have to buy.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And a PSVR 2 or some sort of VR headset for the PC.
And at that point, you're too far, and you just gotta get one of those like tilting chairs so you can like have the full effect.
See, it'd be interesting to think about the idea of a PSVR 2 now that I have a really good PC, but apparently, like, it's still kind of not that great running on PC still.
Oh, yeah, I haven't looked
I'd
into
say
it at all.
if you're going for it, don't just get like an Oculus or something like that.
Yeah,
but that's even more money.
I mean, you're this far, and what's more?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
what is more? It less. You're saving money by spending more money.
Exactly. You're making money at this point.
Well, then you guys buy it.
I already made.
I don't touch PC gaming.
Also, Kaylan is a really good excuse. He's like, I am not touching that. That is not something that will be.
He bought
for
a
me.
PlayStation Portal. He's got money to burn.
I wonder, Kaylan, the new Xbox. The rumor is that it's going to be, a PC that just is simplified with a very, very simple Xbox app kind of Windows experience. I wonder if you would ever be like that. It's like a hybrid between a PC and a console, kind of like a Steam Deck, very, very console-like.
My thing is, I don't want to have to manage something, right? That's my problem with PC gaming is I don't want to fix drivers. I don't want to make sure things are compatible. I don't want to have to figure out best specs. I like with console gaming, I put in my game. Worst case scenario, it has to update, and then it just runs. That's all I want. I don't want to be figuring out drivers and why is this not working? Why do I I have to plug in a second power supply? That's not what I want to do with my gaming time. I have very little gaming time that I just wanted that when I put the game in, it works. If you said, hey, I have a PC and you just put in the game and it works flawlessly, cool. I'm down for that. But I don't want to be having to manage and maintain a computer. If Microsoft comes out and says, hey, we've got this system, it works with Windows, you just, when you turn it on and press the game, it works, cool. I don't care. These consoles are basically PCs anyways. They're just pre-built and they're just standardized that it works. And that's what I don't care what I'm playing on. I just don't want to have to manage and maintain it.
Yeah, I think the only thing, if this Xbox does go PC, they'll have it where all the drivers and all of that are built into like an Xbox update where they do it all. That's what the Steam Deck does. No updates, no drivers, no anything. It'll just be like, oh, Steam Deck has an update and it actually does all of that. But I feel like it's going to be where you might need to choose your settings in the game. Do you want it to be 1080p with like high frame rate? Do you want it to be 4K and it only does 30 FPS or 60?
I mean, we already do that. We already do that though. So
yeah, but it won't be like this where it'll be normally you have like, oh, performance or quality. It'll be like, here's a list of 30 things. You can turn off motion blur, which will make the game run a little bit better. And then you can turn up ray tracing or you can turn off ray tracing and turn up this. Like, yeah, if they go, because if it's playing PC games, I don't understand. I don't know how they'd get around that. I really do feel it'll be like you customize the game, and that'll be the difference between Xbox and PlayStation going forward. One is the console fully, and worst case, you're choosing like quality or performance mode. And then the Xbox, you'll have full control where it's like, oh, you have a game that's, it's a little bit older, but do you want a higher frame rate? Do you want to change the resolution? Do you want to add ray tracing? Do you want to turn that off? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Like, I feel like it'll have obviously all those PC options. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Xbox is gonna do. This could be just the worst idea or the best idea. I have no idea.
Well, all we know is it means they're gonna lay off half the staff once it's all said and done. So
probably. Well, I mean, the rumor is they're not even building their next console. It's like their handheld where it's ROG. It's gonna be put out to other. It's like what Steam did with the Steam machines, where they didn't make it. It was like Alienware made one and other ones made one.
Yeah, but you're not understanding. They're gonna do that, but then they're gonna like the one that they're going with, and they're gonna acquire them. And then eventually have to close it.
And then fire them all. If Razer builds one and then they fire all of Razer, I will be so mad because then I don't know what peripherals I will buy for my computer.
They'll bring back Mad Cats.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, if it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be weird. Like, do I want an Alienware Xbox console on the TV? Like,
yeah, it's like it's right up there with like ROG sort of that thing where it's like a pre-built gaming system. You know it, like you throw money at it and it works in the sense that it's built, everything's compatible, everything runs. So yeah,
I can definitely see that. I have a friend who has an early teens kid, and that's what he has is an Alienware because was easy. It was the easy way to get him into.
It's kind of like the give and take with pre-builds too. It's just like obviously PC is a bit more of a demanding thing to get into, but at the very least, like for those that don't want to deal with like the ins and outs of it, obviously, Chris and I are both very interested in what's going to happen when we build my big fucker. But sometimes you just kind of it's the same way with like how people buy Xbox. You just don't want to deal with the bullshit of it. You just want the thing that you just plug it in and it starts going.
Which is why I think even the Steam Deck is like as successful as it is, because I find on my PC compared to where I game on my Steam Deck, the Steam Deck is like 90% of my PC gaming because it's basically a console where it's, yeah, sure, I might have to change some of the in-game settings, but other than that, it's like, oh, you bought a game, here it is, it's on your homepage, and it looks like a PlayStation 5-ish kind of UI, and I just launch a game, and for the most part, it works. It's only if I'm trying to run like Expedition 33 on it or something, and it's like, okay, I gotta tweak settings so it actually does run. But Dave the Diver or anything I'd normally run on like a Nintendo Switch, it just works. It's great. I love that. I do love that. I do love the simplicity. It's why I'll always have like a console now or a couple consoles alongside my PC. The PC's for like, okay, Cyberpunk, I want the best possible experience. And then it's like Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Buying it on the PS5. Let's go. Pick up a controller.
Oh, please. It's free.
It is now, but it won't be soon because no more PlayStation Plus for me. But like Hot Shots Golf, perfect example. I'm going to buy that on the PS5. I just want it to be easy. People come over, we all play. Like, I just want to be what everybody has.
They need to give up on I don't know why they are like calling it everybody's golf. Just name it Hot Shots, Sony. Like, it's so much better to sell that way. Come on.
Yeah, they've put both names. That's like saying Story of Seasons Harvest Moon. Like, it's just, what? Which one are you?
Or like, Metaphori Fantasio, Kaylan's favorite game. Just two titles that just don't work together all that well.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick question, Adam. Is that name ever going to like actually mean something in this game, or that's just like what they named the game and you just go about your day?
What, Metaphor Refantasio?
Yeah, I'm assuming either the word metaphor or refantasio comes up at some point in the story, and I can be like, they said
Chris,
the thing.
You've played JRPGs for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Do the titles ever actually mean anything?
Chrono Triggers did.
Okay, do 99% of JRPGs titles mean anything?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy because it's the last game Square was going to make in the 80s. It was their Final Fantasy, okay? And it definitely, I mean, it may actually turn out like that if they don't smarten up, but...
That's not true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that covers it. Yeah, 200 episodes, boys.
We did it.
We did it. We did it. We've been consistent-ish. I mean, for the most part, we've been also consistent. Like,
we'll
that's a
ignore
lot
the
of
long
episodes.
breaks that we take.
We've been through some stuff. It's fine. 200 episodes. We're gonna have to take some breaks.
And it's not like we just disappeared. We even you had a video explaining why we were taking a break. Like, not a lot of people do that. They just like.
Also, we were
like,
just in the
that's
Discord
what it
the
is
entire time anyway.
Yeah, we were just in the Discord. Again, shout out to our Discord. Join our Discord. It is so much fun in there. Everybody's great.
Well, it's that part of the show where I guess I can do that anyway. So thank you so much for checking us out after 200 episodes. And, well, if you're leaving now, I kind of understand at this point. 200 episodes is a lot of us have to deal with. But aside from that, you all know the drill. So if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are listening on any audio platform, if you can give us a rating, please do so. Otherwise, share with all your friends. We do genuinely appreciate when you introduce us to other friends, like-minded individuals. Our link tree, as Chris mentioned with the Discord, linktr.ee/PixelPlay Podcast, where the link to our Discord is. It's also in the description for those watching on YouTube. I think it's in the description of all the audio platforms as well. I just don't know how all of them work because I don't listen to anything on audio platforms. I'm a YouTube podcaster guy, but either way. But yeah, come join us in the Discord. Shoot the shit with us. We're always talking shop about something. Usually it's nonsense, but that's gaming in a nutshell now, isn't it? But yeah. We'll see you for episode 201, and I'll plan something special for 300 where I'll have, I don't know, we'll get Matt Mercer on the show. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
That seems like a logical next step.
Yeah, I think we could definitely do that.
I mean, all things considered, that's way more likely than a lot of other things that could happen, but yeah.
I mean, all we have to do is just return his call.
That's true.
That's true.
I can't believe three voicemails I've ignored.
Well, I mean,
come
Kaylan,
on,
that is
don't-
your job after all. Like, can you do your goddamn
just-
job once?
I mean, he's just coming on too strong. Like, come on, dude. Be cool. Simmer down.
All right, well.
We'll call you
when-
back when we're ready.
Well, when Chris has done his, massive conversation with Ben Starr, we'll maybe look into that, so.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for checking us out this week. We will see you on the next one. Friday, we have the side quest as well. We finally finish our run of remakes with the PS3. And then Chris and I will be panicking for the next 7 days trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do next. But until then, take care wherever you may be. Bye-bye for now.